Meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky just moments ago. Biden just announced an additional $2.4 billion in military aid for Ukraine after hearing President Zelensky's plan for a victory on the battlefield. His next meeting with Vice President Kamala Harris. We're standing by for them to address reporters when they sit down together. As we wait, though, to discuss all of this, we have retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General and former commander of U.S. Armed Forces in Europe, Ben Hodges. Lieutenant General, thank you so much for joining me today. I want to get your take on this Department of Defense unveiling of a $2.4 billion security package for Ukraine. It includes expanded drones, and training for Ukrainian F-16 pilots. President Biden also authorized $5.5 billion in presidential drawdown authority. So looking at all of that together, what impact will the surge of assistance have on Ukraine's ability in this war?
Well, thank you. Obviously, this is all very good news, and it will give Ukraine not only the physical capability to continue their fight to defend their country against Russian invaders, but it also sends a signal to Ukrainians and to Russia that the United States is, in fact, going to continue to support Ukraine. So these are the positive things. The frustrating thing, though, is that these are the kind of decisions that should have been made 2 years ago if the administration would make it very clear that we want Ukraine to actually win this war because it's in our strategic interest. This is not charity.
One of the things that we know that President Zelensky has been hoping for is a lifting of the restrictions on firing these long-range weapons that would go deep inside of Russian territory. Do you expect the administration will lift some of these restrictions?
Well, they certainly should, because that would enable Ukraine to strike places from which the attacks are originating that are killing innocent Ukrainian civilians every single day. So this is about helping Ukraine defend itself. The problem is the administration, I think, is excessively concerned or has an excessive fear that Russia might use a nuclear weapon in response. I think there is almost zero chance Russia uses a nuclear weapon because there is no benefit for Russia to use a nuclear weapon. And the administration continues to hesitate, though, because of the Russian, the President Putin, for example, coming out saying they've changed the doctrine about nuclear weapons. That is only the continuation of Kremlin efforts to cause us to continue to hesitate. It's working. We should change the policy, allow Ukraine to defend themselves.
Zelensky has gotten himself into a bit of hot water with the Speaker of the House and former President Donald Trump over a recent visit to a Pennsylvania munitions factory, notably with Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro, Senator Bob Casey, also a Democrat, and others. I wanted to get your take on this because, listen, Zelensky is here specifically to advocate, as he has advocated on behalf of his own country, to get American help in this war. But what kind of challenges can American domestic politics pose to that effort?
Well, first of all, this is a gigantic non-story. It's a political effort by the Trump campaign and his supporters in the Congress to diminish the support for Ukraine. Never in my life did I imagine that the Republican Party would be using Kremlin talking points, talking about how Ukraine has already lost